First, Pakistan tried to smuggle in terrorists. They violated the ceasefire, but now they've stooped to the worst low possible. They are targeting not just civilians, but children, entire families injured, many of them having several members in hospital or dead. But those who are worst hit are the children. Not satisfied with the continuous cross-border infiltration attempts, now Pakistan is continuously targeting villages. In fact, India today found the government hospital in Jammu with several children who have suffered grievous injuries, including a 5-year-old who is badly burnt and a 9-year-old who has multiple fractures on her legs.
We visited several wards to actually speak to all these young kids who had actually no idea what had actually hit them. For no fault of theirs, perhaps just fault in their stars, that they were staying in border villages close to Pakistan. But even Pakistan will not have a response as to why they hit the civilian targets. With camera person Pradeep Gupta, this is Kamaljit Sandhu in Jammu for India Today.
Well, after it failed to deal with Indian Army and BSF at the LOC and the international border, a desperate Pakistan has launched an offensive against civilians. On Tuesday, 3 locations in Ramgarh sector were targeted, leaving 8 civilians, 3 women and 2 children were killed. 24 others are being treated for grievous injuries. Most of them are under treatment at the government hospital in Jammu. India Today correspondent Kamaljit Sandhu spoke to the victims of the shelling.
ये कहीं खज्जल खराबी होने दे रही है सामना की करना बेटा बड़े परेशान है घरे से आज फसल दा टाइम है सारा पूरा फसल बर्बाद होने दे रहा है घर जा ही नहीं सकते फैर हो रहे बच्चे तो घर जाते नहीं आते सानू डर आंदा मामे हुंदे घर चले जाएंगे और की करना बहुत मुश्किल है साडे बॉर्डर वाले लोगों ने
मैं तो कहूँगा ऐसे कि जैसे गोलियों की बारिश चल रही हो और बच्चे जो हैं इतने परेशान हो रहे हैं खासकर स्कूल जो हैं बॉर्डर के वो भी बंद हो रहे हैं और बच्चे जो हैं वो बिल्कुल एजुकेशन जो उनकी बिल्कुल रुकी और यहाँ तक मैं कहूँगा कि उनका जो मुस्तकबिल है वो पूरा दाव पे लगा हुआ है उनका यानी कि फ्यूचर जो है वो स्टेक पे लगा हुआ है बहुत से बच्चे जो प्रॉब्लम में हैं और लगातार गोली चाहे इधर से हों पाकिस्तान के उस पार से आए या इस पार से आए लेकिन बच्चों के लिए जो है ये एक बहुत खतरा बना हुआ है.
In fact, my colleague Gaurav Sawant is now joining us live on the broadcast, and this really is something that goes against the very grain of what rules of engagement are supposed to be, Gaurav, where civilian areas are not targeted, and here it is entire families, children who are being targeted. Look at the kind of injuries that we are seeing coming to hospital.
Little Pari is one part of the story, that 14-month-old who's battling for her life, Padmaja. But like little Pari, there are several little children and families affected by Pakistani shelling. Now, we are at this last border outpost. If you just look behind me, the fence, one village, and then beyond that is Pakistan. And at this point of time, what you see is house after house abandoned, while you have security forces who are deployed here at these checkpoints keeping a hawk eye on every development in this area. But if we just turn around for a second, my colleague Ashwini Kumar with me, and just take a look, all these houses are completely abandoned. No one living in these houses, standing crop waiting to be cultivated. Unfortunately, it may be destroyed in case these people are unable to return and revive their crop. And Ashwini, when we take a look at this situation here, now this is that last point. Beyond this is the fence, and then Pakistan. What's the current situation? How soon can people hope to return?
The way the Pakistan is shelling and firing on the all border villages, and most of the border villagers, they have already left this place, and they have been sent to the several places. But there is a fear in the village that people are fear that at least they will go to the village and Pakistan can start shelling and firing. That is the reason that most of the villagers and only one member of the family at their home, that they are just looking after the cattle and the fields. Otherwise, all villages on the international border from Paharpur in Kathua to up to Akhnur area, around 200 kilometers, that thousands of children and the women and other people, they have migrated to the several places.
And you know, it's ironical, these are people who come from well-to-do families, extremely good homes, well-off people, and hundreds huddled in one classroom in a school because that's their makeshift shelter. Now, the army, the border security force, they are deployed here and in good numbers to ensure that the situation doesn't go out of hand. But people can't return home. They can't cultivate their fields. Cattle have been killed. And in this area, if you think that normalcy is returning soon, I'll tell you what just happened last night, Padmaja. Handheld thermal imagers are being deployed across this international border. And Padmaja, at one point of time, on one such handheld thermal imager, the BSF personnel noticed two people sneaking in and they disappeared in the undergrowth. As soon as they tried to fire in that direction, they couldn't spot them. So two mortars were fired in that area. And some minutes later, they saw two men with weapons limp back towards the Pakistani border outpost. So this goes on to indicate that whether it's sending in snipers or infiltrators or terrorists, there is no let up in what Pakistan is trying from across the border.
All right, just stay with me, Gaurav, because remember, India Today and our team in Jammu had got you the story of how a 14-month-old child was perhaps the youngest casualty of Pakistani shelling. But the good news, thankfully, is that after being operated upon, she is recovering. This toddler had sustained injuries to her neck and spine. This thanks to the Pakistani mortars at the IB, the international border. Doctors say her condition is still sensitive, but she's responding well to treatment. Gaurav, when is this going to stop? Because now for close to 2 months, lives at these border villages has been at a standstill. Anyway, these children are missing out on their education and now they are fearing for their very lives.
Oh, absolutely. It's anybody's guess when will this end. Now, if you look at the situation, people are trying to go to border villages, even if it's just to see what's happening in their home, see and come back. But look at the security personnel. They are deployed all over. They just can't take any chances. So apart from the personnel who are deployed in bunkers like these, there are also personnel who are out in the open, like you see there, or deployed in their tents all along. So the situation is tense. When will it come back to normal? It's either Pakistan or India. The two sides, one of the two sides has to stop shelling, stop firing and stop targeting civilian areas. Pakistan has to stop targeting civilian areas, and unfortunately that doesn't seem to be happening. One thing is clear, some of my sources in the government are saying that Pakistan may fire the first shell, the last will be fired by India. So a befitting response is being given, because we've accessed some of the images of destruction across. India Today has put that out, precision targeting of Pakistani bunkers across. But India is targeting Pakistani security personnel. In response, Pakistan is targeting Indian civilians. It remains to be seen when this stops, Padmaja.
All right, for now, thank you very much.